Peggy has dropped a new song called The Who, and it features vocalist Eyas. And in this song, instead of the typical abrasiveness and distortion we might have gotten used to, while it does feature certain little bits of that, it's not the sole focus on this song, in which Peggy basically turns into a more introspective part of himself. He goes and questions like, is this dream really what I want in life? Are these things really satisfying me? And he's trying to find the answer to that. And there's certain lines that highlight this. The first being, I'm a vegetable too. And at first I thought that potentially that might represent, him growing, but vegetable also can be used to describe someone who is in a coma and doesn't really have faculty over their physical or mental body. They don't have the ability to move, and usually they are medically referred to as a vegetable. So in that same sense, Peggy here is most likely talking about the fact that he feels almost stuck in a way, and that is something that I think a lot of people can relate to, especially because sometimes the things that you chase for, once you finally do get them, are they all that they're cracked up to be? Is it the perfect dream you imagine? And that most likely kind of falls into the Madame Bovary category. It's a book about this woman who is trying to find these dreamy situations that she reads in her novels and trying to have them happen in real life, slowly realizing that the perfect dream is never going to satisfy her because she's always going to want more and more and more. And I think that there's some aspects of Bovaryism here. The other lines that I liked that really did focus in on this narrative of trying to find oneself. I'm gonna sell out like The Who, and it seems like when he says it, he's not really invested in this idea. The music doesn't ever take the shift where it just becomes more intense. Instead, it has the same dreamy vibe of which it seems like you're almost kind of just skating through cyberspace, and you're skating through your head, and in this spacey realm of thought, you can't seem to find those answers. So he kind of just gives this shrugging answer, I guess I'll just make money, because then I'll maybe figure it out with money. Monetary gains might give him access to whatever person he might be, because questioning oneself is something that I think everyone does at least one point in time in your life. You've just been like, who am I? And that's something that's incredibly difficult to really find the answer to. It almost feels like sometimes in life we're defined by others and what they think of us, and we kind of just follow that. Not only that, but we're born into different situations that influence us and decide on that may inform how we act. And that's not anyone's fault. It just happens. We happen to be born into a world, and we have to be born in certain situations. There's not really a good answer on who we are. It's just a matter of us growing up and trying to figure that out. And I think we're always going to be trying to figure that out. No one has a defined, complete 100% portrait of themselves that hasn't been altered by other people's thoughts and desires. We can be individuals, yes, but we are all influenced in some manner. Other lines that I like, Eyas' feature on here is gorgeous. I've never heard her before, but she has a wonderful angelic voice. The introspection is really fueled by some of her lines, talking about dreaming and then wondering if it even means anything. The fact that she goes I was dreaming, I had all these dreams, but it's pointless. Does it even matter? And that is another line of questioning that comes into the fray. It's sort of like when you get something, and I guess one way to really generalize it to a broader audience, that obviously we're not all rich and famous, and we all look towards that. It's sort of like when you get that thing you finally desired. Maybe you wanted a burger really badly, so you go make a burger, or you go have a burger and it tastes amazing. But imagine if you kept having that burger every single time. It starts to lose that luster that really made it delicious in the first place, because a part of what made it delicious was that psychological desire, that need you almost had, that want that you kind of put upon it. And then when you finally got it, it really matched those goals. But if you constantly got it every time you wanted it, if there was no struggle, I guess to say, if there was no struggle, then the desire does not really have that same kind of impact that it would. And then again, there's one last line that just really just struck my chords towards the end when Eyas comes in again with the hook. Again, she has a wonderful voice, and I'm gonna go listen to some of her songs because I really like this song and the beat. And I do like the little bits of JPEG that are still in here. Like, it's still weird and it's still Peggy. It's just a very much more gentle, softer, thoughtful Peggy that we might not see as often. And I hope that he dives into this landscape a little bit more. Like, I love the abrasive and energetic stuff just as much as I like something like this. Again, the line, let me get back to the line. The line in which Eyas basically talks about how her love wasn't enough for anyone's time, and then not even herself. And that is something that I think is key to trying to find oneself, is having that ability to be like, I am a good person and I deserve good things. Having those kind of thoughts. And that's very difficult for people in general because it's not easy, especially if you suffer from anxiety or depression or other mental illnesses that kind of hinder your ability to feel like you are improving or feel like you are good where you are. Being able to avoid breaking yourself down and like being your #1 enemy, which is obviously impossible because no one's going to really have the same amount of criticism for you as much as you are going to have that same criticism for you, because it's just a simple fact of like no one else knows you as much as you know yourself. So with that being said, The Who is a wonderful song that really does dive, like it takes like a bit of a dive into someone who is successful like Peggy. He's not incredible, like he's not super mainstream or anything, like super like blowing up all the charts all the time, but he still struggles with that stuff. And I think that should help people understand that even though in this era of social media where we constantly see everyone's successes and none of the struggles, it is important to note that everyone has those moments of just like, who am I? Am I doing the right things? Questioning themselves. And it's okay to have those moments, and it's important to have self-care and love for yourself so that way you're able to navigate the adversity that does come, even if it's just you wondering if you're doing the right thing or wondering if your dreams are proper. Even if you're in the midst of enjoying them, that can still happen. So no one is invincible and no one can avoid being vulnerable at times, and it's okay to have those struggles. The most important thing is that you constantly work to find that, and sometimes that might be tiresome, and that's fine, but just try to keep working as much as you can, because finding the who allows you to find the what that you want, I think. Well, this guy says it's always important to find out who you are, as well as the what, when, where, and why. How? I don't know. I just work here.